Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey, episode 229. Yes, that's right, 229. And this is Chris. My name is Chris, and I am doing the introduction because, well, Jason is still MIA down at Trail Hero 2023. So I know everybody listened to my short episode the other day, and I was able to pump something out. It was solo, but I got a little bit of feedback that it wasn't too bad. I did a half good job, which is not too bad. I guess I'll take that as a win. But but I'm rallying the troops, and I was able to call a friend, and I have one of our candidates for new co-host. This is his next interview. I got Rodney Muller on the line. Rodney, how the hell are you doing?
I'm good, Chris. What do I do with my hands, though? I don't know.
I don't know, but keep them where I can see them.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks, Chris.
Oh yeah, no, it's always a joy to have you on the show. Absolutely. So I don't know. We don't really have an agenda for this thing. It's kind of like, I am going to call it filler because we're just trying to find stuff. Neither of us have been wheeling. You've done more wheeling this summer than I have. I know that our work demands have been crazy. Yes, I know. And with in our industry, the good news is when fall hits and we get through some of those cultural practices that have to happen, things get a lot easier and time gets freed up so we can maybe get out and start playing in the rocks.
Well, you remember the last time you and I wheeled together with your YJ was Slick Rock, and it was in October, and I got you a birthday cake for your first time out in October. So, right. We might have to do that again. This might have to be your second birthday.
Well, that seems to be the new trend. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting ready to put the camper back on the truck. This is kind of a little side note, but my son Craig is is moving, and he needs me to move my camper so he can bring in his new his new home. And where I store my camper is blocking access to where he stores his current home. So I'm going to I think tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to load the camper up on my truck, and I'll put the hitch on and everything like that so I can be ready to go. Because I think that I'd like to try to get up to, the Highway 4 corridor up above Arnold sometime, after the 15th, before the end of October, to do some wheeling before the snow starts to fly. Yeah,
we talked about that last week. When you get back from your trip, and I get back from my trip to the Midwest, let's go camping up at Alpine Lake and hit some trails.
That'd be great. I'd love maybe do a day trip on Blue Lakes and maybe obviously a day trip on Slick Rock. That's an easy run for the most part, although the trail has gotten more challenging in my opinion. But that'd be a hoot, man. And the crisp nights and stuff like that. Get a campfire going back at the lake and imbibe some adult beverages and hang out. Yeah,
can't beat that.
Hell no. So, that's not an open invitation to all of our listeners. We don't want to descend upon. We go show up there and there's like 300 people or something. The more the merrier, right?
Let's get a meetup. Yeah.
Right.
There's only so much more wheeling left before El Nino hits.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, I mean, if we have a nice winter like we had last, not last winter.
Not last year. No.
I mean,
that was a nice winter. I loved all the snow, but it snowed so much you couldn't even go skiing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The lifts were shut down.
The roads were shut down for avalanche control. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, but the skiers were thrilled because the ski season extended all the way into early summer, and in some places, is there still any place open?
No. I don't know. I don't think so.
Is Mammoth finally shut down, so I guess that there's no summer skiing, or just fall skiing now.
I've seen Horton take his 4Runner up the hill with a couple people and found some snow and did some skiing down a little patch of snow, but that's about it.
Horton, the wild adventurer.
Oh my God. Horton's nuts. Love that guy.
He doesn't let up. The guy's got more energy than I could ever tap into. He's an amazing individual. And if the shit hits the fan, he's one of those dudes that I'd like to have in my corner.
You want him on your side, definitely.
Absolutely. So anyway, yeah, we're going to try to get out and do some wheeling at the end of October. That would be a blast. And certainly mountain therapy is one of my prescriptions for mental health. And I want to get up there and yeah, just ride the rocks, man. It'd be kind of fun. So, moving on to other things. God, one of the things that I kind of made a note about, and this is not one of the things we talked about in the pre-show, but do you subscribe to the emails and stuff that are coming through, or the what's the Instagram stuff from King of the Hammers and all the different VIP packages that have been coming through that they're marketing these crazy VIP?
Yes, I do. I see those
experiences. I imagine those things have all sold out because money's just crazy. But I mean, looking at some of the stuff that these people are able to whatever, I don't know what you call it, tapping into, but they can get the VIP tickets. Here's what you can get. I don't know if they're still available or not, but they have this trackside package, which includes exclusive access to the VIP lounge located in This has gotten so bougie, I mean, the early days of King of the Hammers, is show up. The Hammertown was very small. There were a few tents, no food vendors, or maybe a couple of minor food vendors and whatever. And they had porta potties, and that was, and of course the campfire in the center of camp with the jumbotron.
And it got really bougie when you got a free Monster Energy drink.
That's right. Well, so now you got the VIP packages, and this trackside one has general admission participant ticket and camping pass, all day cuisine, exclusive trackside access to the start finish line for all races, personal liaison in the VIP lounge. Ooh, event goodie bag with. I know, right? Event goodie bag with worn VIP T-shirt, KOH, and partner swag. Live feed stream of all races in VIP lounge. Premier in-lounge Wi-Fi. Guided walkthrough of Hammertown pits. You also get a VIP live music viewing area, which would be kind of nice to stay out of the mosh pit. VIP viewing area during qualifying. And if they're going to we haven't heard any details about where they're going to do qualifying this year, but I know that being over at Backdoor for qualifying last year was a huge success.
That was a huge success, right?
So I imagine, we can only speculate, of course, but it'd be kind of cool if they did it over there again. But I know a lot of people missed having it back in the short course in Hammertown because just better access, right? And it was also it fed all the viewers back into the vendor area in Hammertown. So I know a lot of vendors felt deprived of opportunities with customers walking around between qualifying events. So, and then let's see what else they have. Opportunity to participate in the ultimate VIP UTV driving experience, and then daily prizes such as the opportunity to wave the start flag. How cool. Hold on, wait a minute. This is new for this year.
What's
VIP VIP restroom trailer, air conditioned, flushing toilets and running water.
Holy cow. On the lake bed, flushing toilets?
I know, right? All right. But wait, there's more.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
I know. So then there's the VIP Ultimate Package, which includes all the stuff I just mentioned, but it also has exclusive VIP Ultimate Package, which is limited to just 50 people. And you get King of the Hammers 2024 Ultimate VIP Carhartt custom jacket. Select men. It's whatever. Dining with the drivers. Enjoy an evening with key KOH staff and take photos with some of your favorite competitors. A trackside s'mores night. How about that?
Holy cow.
And then 10 Ultimate VIP guests will be randomly selected for private backstage tour and autograph session with an entertainment headliner. And, of course, daily prize drawings. Which one of those opportunities to win a ride of a lifetime in an unlimited 4400 car. I don't know. That sounds...
Yeah. Well, We get to do that on an
So
annual basis anyway.
Yeah. So the VIP trackside package, if they're still available, is $595 per person. And then the ultimate package that I just mentioned is $995 per person.
Yeah, keep it under $1,000.
Keep it under $1,000. So are you going to sign up for that, Rod?
No, I'm going to be staying in the R pod and just hanging around our probably our 2-acre compound up at Hammertown Heights Estates. I thoroughly enjoy our compound that we have going on. It's a pretty good situation. But if you're new to King of the Hammers and you want some VIP treatment, that would be the way to go.
Yeah, well, hell, flushing toilets and running water. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Wi-Fi.
Where do I sign up? Hashtag Chris money, right?
Well, you know where the fence was up against our boundary where we were camped.
Yeah, for the Bronco between us and the Bronco
experience just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
and how do you know? We could have went and plugged into their little electrical stations that they have.
Yeah, they had a generator like 100 yards from us.
Well, yeah, the generator, and it ran all these little pods around there, so you could just probably sneak extension cord through the fence and kind of tap into their stuff. I don't want to give away any secrets, but
no. Well, I'm a little worried about how fast Hammertown's been growing and how much it's grown. I mean, the level of expansion between the year before and this past year was, in the area we were camping in, there was area behind us you just mentioned was just open desert 2 years ago. Yeah, last year it was a VIP experience. So I'm afraid that we're going to get there this year and find out that the area we're typically camping is now,
they've recognized, it's gentrification. They're pushing us out.
We'll be further up the hill, or we'll be further towards I don't know what direction that is, but that way.
Yeah. Where the sun comes up.
Right. Yeah, obviously you can tell we're getting kind of excited for King of the Hammers. Us folk that don't get to go to every event that's around the state and even the Western United States, we have to pick and choose. And I always choose to go to King of the Hammers every winter, so I'm looking forward to it. Starting my planning, made sure my vacation time is applied for, so I don't have any issues with that. And hopefully we'll see everybody on the lake bed. There's gonna be a lot more discussion about it on the show. So stay tuned for that. Other things that I know that Rodney wanted to talk about. He wants to talk about a little bit of land use stuff. This is bad news. We've
got some stuff going on that's not good for outdoor enthusiasts in general. Not just off-road enthusiasts, hikers, bicyclists.
Yeah, horseback riders. Anybody that wants to use the wilderness or backcountry.
To be outdoors. Blue Ribbon Coalition. I know you've seen it on Instagram, Facebook, and they have closed down trails. November 1st, I believe.
Yeah, I believe the announcement was made.
17 miles will be closed down.
Yeah, that's really bad news. And this is some fantastic trails. And I know that I'm just speaking from what I'm reading, and because you've been to Moab, but you've never wheeled it. I have never been to Moab, but it's on my bucket list of a place to go visit and wheel. And reading the news that came through, I know the Snail Boys mentioned it on their show, I'm sure I'm way behind on their episode, so I'm sure they mentioned it. But I know that Tyler posted some stuff up on his IG. But yeah, the BLM released the final signed decision for the Labyrinth, Rims, and Gemini bridges near Moab. And the plan closes, as you mentioned, 317 miles of some of the 317 miles of roads and trails in that area, which it's terrible. I mean, they say there are a lot of redundant trails. There are a lot of trails that aren't used very often or whatever, or dead end, and they don't go anywhere. But they're trails nonetheless, and people do utilize those trails. And this decision, one of the one of the reasons, but one of the things people are saying about the closure is it's going to concentrate more traffic on the trails that do remain open, which will impact the environment even more. And, those areas, from what I've heard, have some pretty significant or some sensitive areas, environmentally sensitive areas. And, this is not good. So I don't know.
When we were discussing this, Chris, I wanted just to, hit this at the 30,000 foot level. I mean, everybody's probably seen the post from Blue Ribbon Coalition.
Yeah.
But what we need to do is get some backing behind the Blue Ribbon Coalition. And your listeners can do that by going to their IG account, hitting the link in their bio, sign up for $5 a month. If that is all you can afford, sign up for $5 a month, pay the 38-cent fee, give them some money that they can work on every month to fight what's going on in Moab. And
it takes money. They need the money to fight. They need the money to pay the lawyers, man.
Yeah. And they do plan on fighting it. So please go to their IG account, tap on their bio, and sign up, please.
There you go. That's great. It's bad news, but I know somebody had mentioned before how large the off-road community is, and the allied associations, or the various enthusiasts, whether you're into horseback riding or hiking, or if you're into side-by-sides or motorcycle. Hell, they even talked about people flying in their little puddle jumper airplanes to some of these areas in Moab. So there's an aviation aspect to it
too. So
all of these groups need to band together, and they need to fight. They need to raise their voices and fight to keep these areas open for us to use. And that's important. It really is. And because, as we've mentioned numerous times on the show, and other shows say the same thing, once these groups get these areas closed down, they've tasted blood, and they don't stop. They start going after other things.
Move on to the next trail.
Right. And I mean, they go after Pismo. We've talked about Oceano Dunes. They're attacking areas down there in Sand Hollow, down in Hurricane, Utah. That's been in the news not long ago about, the land swap. Exactly. So it won't stop. I mean, it's happened on the East Coast. It's going to continue to happen. It's happening on the West Coast. And these groups they're relentless. They're well funded, and they want what they want, and they just won't stop.
And they're infiltrating the government system, and they're putting their agendas forward through the government that they're representing.
Absolutely.
Whether it's on a board or a city council, it's happening. So you just have to fight the good fight.
Yeah, and if you're one of those people that's got the time and the energy to get involved in the fight, I mean, it's more power to you. But again, as Rodney mentioned, go to Blue Ribbon Coalition and donate. Your donation gets utilized to help fund this good fight. So
absolutely,
let's make it happen. Now on to Oceano Dunes. We don't have all the details, but I know that this fight's been going on a long time with the whole particulate matter and the different political factions that are involved in this, and to keep that beach area open for recreating by people that love the dunes, running sand in their sand rails or their motorcycles or whatever it is they like to utilize. Side by sides are popular, but this whole thing kind of blew up during the early days of COVID, when it was even before that, when they were talking about dust and the dust that was invading and causing health issues to the residents of that particular area down there at Pismo Beach. And one of the things that was debunked during COVID, when they closed down Oceano Dunes, they thought that the sand or the dust would go away, but the dust got worse because it wasn't.
Matter got worse. Yeah, and then come to find out, it wasn't particulate matter. Really, it was salt air that naturally occurs.
Correct.
Right in an ocean.
So obviously, you go ahead.
Yeah. So they're trying to keep a PhD from presenting facts. that really debunk and dispel everything that they're trying to ram down your throat to take away your land. And I believe she got to present last week, so that was good.
Well, that's good to hear, and I haven't listened to or followed up on that myself. I have this video queued up in my on my computer to watch after we finish recording, so I can kind of understand it a little bit better, and maybe talk about it at a future episode of the show. But it's scary. I mean, some of these areas, looking at the history of Oceano Dunes down in Pismo, and of course the economic impact that the people that recreate down there have on that region. I mean, they go down there to just spend the weekend or a week or whatever the time frame is down there on the beach, partying, hanging out with friends. They're bringing their expensive toys. They break their toys. They need to go into town to buy parts for their toys. They need to go to town to get food and ice and booze or whatever it is they need to continue the party. Yeah. Fuel, just fuel to run their toys. And that's a lot of economic input that happens to that community. And they should. I got to think the business owners, the small business owners in that area, whether they're restaurants or gas stations or convenience stores or whatever, have got to be concerned about the potential of losing a major part of their income simply because of a political agenda.
Absolutely. I know you're behind on snail trail, but what about trail chasers? You're probably not up on them either.
I'm behind on everything.
So those knuckleheads, the trail chasers, they were interviewing Dave Cole. And
I did see that.
He had some really good. It was a really good podcast. I commend you guys for that. Lying to Dave Cole.
Wow.
to get him on your show. No, they said that they thought they were someone else, but they stuck this deal around a campfire and they made it happen. So good job, trail chasers. The economic impact of King of the Hammers is astronomical. What they were saying in the podcast. I don't want to try to repeat any numbers, but I thought they said an annual income down there for Lucerne Valley is like $34 million.
I wouldn't be surprised, and that might be on the low side. Just a
week of King of the Hammers is like $3 to $4 million, or 3 to 5, something like that.
Yeah. No, I guarantee. Yeah, absolutely. You put between 70 and 100,000 people traveling through a community, whether they're coming through Lucerne or they're coming the other direction from what's that town? There's not 29 Palms, but I don't know, whatever the other direction is. I've never gone that way, but I mean, people have to go. They either run out of propane or they run out of
propane.
Parts
food.
For their junk, food, ice, whatever. I mean, of course, as the community on the lake bed grows year after year after year, it seems like a lot of stuff is more available, and you don't need to make that trek into town to get it. Unless, I mean, you will pay a premium to get propane or firewood or ice or whatever, water, and
Dave said he wanted to put a permanent general store out there that operates 365. Yeah.
Wow. That'd be really, man. I'd have to find a right location for it, because I mean that area is it's hostile environment year round.
Well, you've got the 40, right? The bar out there, isn't that the 40?
On the lake bed?
Yeah, right as you come in.
I don't remember those. That's. I
don't know. You better get on IG and look up the 40.
I don't know anything about it. Boy, my bad. If that's something that's there, I don't remember it. But anyway, well, that'd be super cool to have a general store out there. Obviously, any town that or area region that hosts an event like that, whether it's ongoing thing like Pismo Oceano Dunes, or you got King of the Hammers, which is it's almost 2 weeks now, but it's probably a full month when you figure, building the town and obviously the people that are in there for the construction and the planning. Then of course the spectators and the racers show up, and then the teardown the following week. Although I stayed there an extra day or two this past year, and it's shocking how fast they disassemble Hammertown. It is truly shocking to see within 36 hours, almost all the major structures are gone.
Well, when you've got a rental tent, you want to get that thing down and back to the supplier, right?
Back in its box.
You don't want to keep paying for that thing. I know. Whenever I rent something, I don't want to hang on to it for an extra week. So
that's right. So I mean, this is the world we live in right now. There's always some sort of force out there that wants to disrupt people having fun or whatever. I mean, look at what's happening right now down in Hurricane, Utah. I mean, this Trail Hero thing. I mean, it's I don't know. It's like, was it 5th, 6th, 7th annual? I don't even know anymore. Yeah. But the magnitude of growth that thing has experienced since its inception is mind boggling. I mean, looking at just my IG and what am I stalking? I guess I call it stalking or whatever on IG and Facebook to see, who's who of off-roading are there, man. I mean, anybody in off-road is there. I mean, and I'm not going to say Tyler from Morflate is a who's who. He's becoming somebody, but he's running around down in a bright green, neon green suit, promoting his product.
Who thought you could sell a rubber hose and become as successful as he is, right?
I know, right? I mean, he's I don't even know where to go. I mean, the fact that he's now like a Ford guy through and through. I mean, I think he owns more Fords than Jason at this point. So, or equal. I mean, he just bought an F-350 dually. He's got his F-150, and of course he's got the Bronco. So, but he's still a Toyota guy through and through, although he only has one Toyota, and at least as far as I know, and 3 Fords at this point is the score. But I mean, it's pretty crazy. Obviously, Randy Slosson's down there, and our crew, is down there with the whole gang, Dolly and
Glenn Plake, Kimberly Plake,
Eric Hanna. I mean, the whole brood and gang is down there, and of course you and I are sitting in our houses.
Hussman's down there too, right?
Who?
Did Jason Hussman get down there with his? I'm not
sure. I know he commented, but I'm not sure he's there.
Working hard.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we're not there, but at the same time, as I've mentioned over and over and over again, spring and fall are terrible times for a golf course superintendent to be off property.
And listener, let me back Chris up when he says that it is difficult for him to get off property when he does. It is tough. And I know he has a trip planned. I have a trip planned. So I couldn't back 2 trips up to go down to Trail Hero as much as I wanted to. Yeah. But yeah, maybe next year. I don't know. The latte machine's going in the shop this winter, and it's getting a few upgrades. I've been collecting parts. And
what are you going to do?
Oh, I don't know. Some axle stuff.
Oh boy, wontons?
No, nope. Keeping the 44s. Just trussing them. Fox stabilizer shock, RPM. 2-inch aluminum steering, and just beefing it up.
So you're not going to build some Toyota 10.5-inch axles?
RCV, RCV axles. Just truss it, put some axles in it, and beef up the steering.
And then send it.
No, I'm pretty easy on it. It's still a kind of a stock-looking Jeep. I want to keep it as stock as possible, but I think this is probably going to tip the scale in the other direction. So,
well, as long as you don't put a rooftop tent on it, you'll be fine.
No, no. It's still my tow rig.
That's right. Yeehaw. Well, yeah, there's some plans happening. I mean, I need to get into my garage and finish a few projects on my Jeep. I've got parts that I've been accumulating for a while. I got a new winch to bolt onto it. And then I've got my rock lights, and I've got that aux beam control panel that I want to install. It's just all sitting on the workbench in the garage right now, waiting for me to pay attention to it so I can install them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got my scepter shaft brace and track bar brace to put on.
Isn't that one of the big weak points, the sector shaft on the JLs?
Yeah, and it doesn't have the cast steering box. It was one of the first ones built, so it's got the aluminum steering box, and I never had it upgraded because I just planned on going with HOW or PSC.
So you're going to put hydro assist on it?
Hydro assist. Yeah, you have to. Trying to turn a 37-inch tire with that electric pump just doesn't work.
Oh, it's an electric pump?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. I did not know that. I know I have electric power steering in my Colorado, and it's not an off-road rig, but it has a different feel to it, doesn't it?
It does. Yep.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of covered a little bit of information. I think that, it's fun to always get together with you on the what's Riverside.
Got to give Kevin Jones a run for his money, right?
And Amber, that's right. Amber's down there
probably
too.
down there just hogging up the microphone down at Trail Hero.
Right? She's probably co-hosting every episode with Jason. So
no,
I don't know, Kevin Jones. I'm not sure. I tried to touch base with him last night to get him on the show. Was it last night? Yeah, I guess it was last night to get him on the show, and he didn't answer the phone. And I just saw on the IG that he and the family are going to be heading up to the Pacific Northwest for some sort of family event. So cool. I totally understand why he didn't answer the phone. But, yep, you're giving him a run for your money. I'm going to put a check mark next to your name for how many times you've been on the show. And, yeah.
Well, our wheeling community that we have access to is really kind of special. It is. No doubt about that. You guys have built a bit of a brand here with Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. A lot of people enjoy it from coast to coast and other countries too. So
worldwide. So yeehaw. All right. Well, Rodney, thanks for being on the show. I'm going to do a quick close here. How do you, let's see, how do we get a hold of us? You can, do we even pitch Jason right now? He's kind of missing in action. If you want to get a hold of Chris, you can email Chris at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Hey, let me put out my my Instagram handle, which is www.chrism. If you want to DM me there, I'd be happy to respond. And, you can still do it at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey also. Don't forget about our phone number where you can leave voice messages, which is 408-800-5169. Again, that's 408-800-5169. And, of course, we have our website, which is wheelingwineandwhiskey.com, where you can find all of our past episodes, and you can see links to our merch, which, as I've said before, holiday season's coming up, so get your orders in early so you can get that stuff under the tree. And then, of course, don't forget about, what was I going to say? Don't forget about something. Our irate4x4.com. I know that that's been a very successful thing for Austin. We certainly appreciate and thank him for all the effort he's put into making those forums a success. And we're happy to support him, and we're happy that all of our listeners are following in line and going into the Barrel Society. You don't need to join the Barrel Society. You can just sign up for free at irate4x4.com, and you have access to all the forums. But if you want to get into the exclusive private area, you can join the Barrel Society for $5, $10, or $20 per month. And so beyond that, you got anything else, Rodney?
Nope. Just get ready to go wheeling when you get back from your trip.
I'm ready, man. The Jeep is ready. I'm ready. Let's go wheeling.
Yeah, we'll get in a few trails before the snow flies, and maybe one after it does.
I like snow runs as long as it's not crazy deep. But yeah, that'd be fun.
The first snow or two is always fun to hit.
Exactly. Yeehaw. All right. Well, with that, we're out.